Mexico City is situated on the highland of Mexico and is the capital of the country. It is a modern and crowded metropolis, like many of our large cities. But the capital stands in a strong contrast to the land itself. The history of Mexico is long, and it has a heritage very different from that of other nations. It is reflected in its pyramids and also in the murals which tell the story of Cortez, the man who conquered Mexico in 1521 and brought Spanish influence to that country. This influence is also reflected in the production of ceramics. The Europeans brought the use of the potter's wheel, blaze techniques, high firing processes, and new designs like the famous Spanish Talavera ware. But long before the Spaniards came to Mexico, the folk artist's work had, as far back as 1500 BC, reached great heights in both technique and design. Later, the merging of the Indian and the Spanish traditions gradually produced new, truly Mexican styles. We will visit 4 different areas of ceramic production and examine their wares in some detail. The first is Coyotepec, located 350 miles south of Mexico City. The manufacture of Coyotepec blackware reflects a technique followed in the Oaxaca area since before the time of Christ. It is the most pre-Hispanic of all the pottery that we shall examine. Wedging the clay to uniform consistency is the first step in the making of a simple water jar. Since no wheel is used, the basic shape is achieved by first patting and then punching out what is to become the body of the jar. By inverting 2 saucers, a device is created which allows the form to be rotated and further patted into shape. The only other tool used is a piece of leather, which is kept in water to keep it pliable. A large pot can be completed in approximately 8 to 10 minutes. After the pottery has dried to leather hardness, it is burnished with a smooth rock to achieve a high metallic shine. The work is fired in the kiln at the corner of the family compound. The kiln is of simple design. The kiln chamber is on the top. Below is the fire chamber, which has an opening below for fuel. The kiln chamber is separated from the firing chamber by a perforated brick floor. In Spanish, the kiln is referred to as el horno, meaning the oven. The thoroughly sun-dried pottery is brought to the kiln by the family for careful loading. Broken pieces of pottery are laid over the greenware to help seal in the heat. The kiln is gradually warmed by a small blaze. Too fast heating would cause the pottery to crack. Gradually, the fire is increased to approximately 1800 degrees Fahrenheit. The firing chamber is sealed by mud, which cuts off the oxygen from the fire. And it is now that the pottery takes on its characteristic black color. This is reduction firing. The kiln is unloaded the next morning. The beautiful simplicity of these pots is in great part due to the useful needs that they will fill and to the limited tools of the artisan. Saturday is market day in the city of Oaxaca. Many types of pottery are made for grain storage, soaking and straining corn, and water containers. Some new designs have also appeared to please the tourist trade. second town we visit is Metepec, located in the highlands about 30 miles west of Mexico City in the productive Toluca Valley. The Metepec potters mine their clay in nearby pits. The loose clay is loaded onto carts and hauled across the valley to the workshops in town. One of the most outstanding craftsmen who lives in Metepec is Timoteo. His shop has many examples of the ceramic sculpture for which Metepec is noted. Greenware is brought in for firing by different members of the community who do piecework at home for the maestro. All pieces are fired only once, then dipped in a solution of whitewash containing lime and carpenter's glue. This whitewash provides a base for the final painting. The most spectacular objects, such as the Adam and Eve Tree of Life candelabras, are faithfully based on biblical descriptions. The candelabras are made by impaling mold-made and handmade pieces onto small wires, which in turn are stuck into the basic frame. The basic frame itself is made of solid clay with no wire support inside. It is believed that the designs for these candelabras were evolved during the 17th century, when Spanish Christian beliefs had become established in Mexico. After assembly, all pieces are sun-dried and then fired at earthenware temperatures. These candelabras are used as family altars as well as sold to the public. After the one firing and the application of whitewash, the pieces then receive the final decoration by Timoteo and his wife. Aniline dyes and gold paint provide the colors. There is no second firing after the paint is applied. There are a variety of other pieces produced in Timoteo's shop. Some pieces show a vigorous folk interpretation of sophisticated sculptures. They are not crude imitations, but useful expressions responding to the unique environment and thought of the Metepec community. The village of Tonalá lies 325 miles from Mexico City and has been noted for many kinds of pottery since colonial times. Animal and floral motifs are characteristic of this pottery, and most of the ceramicists work in their patios. In the making of animal figurines, all the pieces are cast. Then they are scraped and made smooth in preparation for the painting process. Some of this is piecework done by individuals in the community. The drying is done in the sun. A slip is applied, providing the final base for painting. The maestro himself, Señores Palacios, does all the painting in this shop. He has been a potter since the age of 12 and takes great pride in the delicacy and precision of his brushwork. No two pieces are painted alike. His brushes are made of dog hair. After the pieces have been burnished, they are carried to the kiln for firing. Inside the kiln, A layer of bisque-fired pots rests on the grate that separates the firing chamber from the loading chamber. This serves to further protect the pieces from the direct flames. After the kill is loaded, the pieces are covered with old sherds and other bisque pieces. The fire is on for approximately 5 hours, and then it is left to die out. The kill is not sealed, and this produces an oxidation type of firing. Early next morning, the kill is unloaded, and the pieces examined for quality. Señor Palacios' work is so exquisitely done, it is sought by people from many countries. Another artist in Tonalá is Señor Galván, who has made pottery for the President of Mexico. Señor Galván operates a workshop with several apprentices, all of whom follow the methods established by the maestro. In the making and decorating of these large jars, each apprentice learns step by step the various processes involved. Only natural clay colors are used in the decoration of these jars. The final step before firing is the burnishing. Small areas are moistened with water and then polished with a metal piece. The firing is done in large kilns similar to those of the Palacios. There is only one firing. Señor Galván, in many ways, is responsible for the preservation of the old technique and the use of natural colors. Contemporary use of Tonalá ceramics has evolved with the introduction of stoneware techniques in recent years. Animal and floral motifs are used effectively in a modern context. Our last stop in Mexico is the city of Puebla, which since 1650 has been the center for the majolica pottery in Mexico. These ceramics differ from other wares in Mexico due to the use of high-fire glazes, which also makes this pottery practical for decorative and utilitarian tiles that are used in architecture. The oriental shapes also appear in Puebla majolica. In processing the clay for the majolica pottery, the raw clay is sifted and filtered from one vat to another. It is then wedged to eliminate hard lumps and air bubbles. Using a kick wheel, skilled artisans form the various pieces. As each piece is finished, it is placed on a long board to dry on racks in a cool room. After drying to leather hardness, the pieces are moved to the direct sunlight for final drying and warming. After low temperature firing and glazing, decoration is applied in two ways, either by the use of stencil or freehand. Freehand decoration also uses traditional motifs, but allows greater individual expression in execution. The paint used in decoration is made from mineral oxides and carbonates. The decorative paint and the glaze fuse in the final firing. Special care must be observed in loading the kiln for the final firing. Stilts are used to separate the pieces so that they will not stick together when the glaze fuses into glass. Although charcoal was formerly used for high firing, the factories in Puebla today use gas or petroleum kilns. Some are walk-in size kilns. The second firing reaches temperatures of around 1200 degrees Fahrenheit. The blue and white majolica was originally introduced in the 16th century, while the polychrome came into use in the 18th century. The 18th century reached a peak in the use of decorative tile that has not been surpassed, as can be appreciated from the splendid facade of the Church of San Francisco a Coyotepec near Puebla. We have shown only a glimpse of the nearly 500 pottery centers in Mexico. Each one of these craftsmen, regardless of location, has given special form and decoration to the clay that is available to him. In doing so, the artist expresses the ideals of his community and the environment in which he lives through an art form that can be appreciated by many.